Bd16 Yinyang Story and Guidance. The Magical Council 16 out of 32. Yinyang, the guiding force of duality. The guiding force of duality. Accept and deal with the duality in everything and everybody. Quote, if there be light, then there is darkness, if cold heat, if height depth, if solid fluid, if hard soft, if rough smooth, if calm tempest, if prosperity adversary, if life death. Pythagoras. End of quote. Yinyang's story. After Kalimabanko had taken its place as the governor of Crystalia, the creation, it was me, a drop of the ocean of love, the home of Kandu, that came to venture Crystalia. As a crystal child of light, I settled down in Orania, the lower crystal kingdom, and Kalimabanko observed me with care, for he knew he needed a team that would help him to keep life in Crystalia going. As a young child playing in the gardens of the castles of garments located in the plains of dreams, Kalimabanko gave me the name Yinyang, meaning the two faces in everything, or in other words, the opposites or duality. Many words have been used to describe me, such as yin, yang, alpha and omega, Adam and Eve, masculine and feminine, and good and evil. Anything I played with or thought of, I was always able to reveal its other side. For that one side had no meaning to me, I always needed to see the other side. I went up the highest mountains and searched for treasures in the deepest places in the earth. When I saw something and encountering its front, I wanted to know what the backside would be. I enjoyed the heat of the sun, but would never have appreciated it when I would not have been exposed to the freezing cold of the winter. I wrote on everything, describing the opposite, and in every discussion I would always come from the other side, which didn't make me very popular. When everybody was saying yes, I would say no, and when everybody said no, I said yes. On the other hand, I was very artistic, but others didn't like my art too much, as I made the two sides too obvious for them, and they couldn't appreciate a toy that was perfect intact on one side and the other side broken, objects shining on one side and rusty on the other side, and I did this with everything. I had these magical powers from an early age. I was able to influence people's feelings, emotions, and states of mind by constantly letting them experience the two sides, such as happy and sad, smiling and crying, courage and fear, healthy and sick, jolly and grumpy. The same was it when I used my powers on others, when they were eating, and letting them experience the two sides shortly after each other. They were, for instance, experience something sweet, and I would give them the sour or bitter taste. I could as well interfere with an experience anyone what was enjoying and letting them experience the complete other side. I was not very liked, but Kalimabanko liked me and appreciated my gifts. He saw my potential at an early age and under his guidance trained me into every aspect and offered me a place in the higher realms of the gods. And I made myself into the god of opposites. I was great for his plan, as I would keep everybody busy, either wanting just one side, trying to secure it, and trying to keep the other side out of their life. Individuals would stay busy and not thinking about Kandu and their real self, and not making any effort to get out of the realm of opposites. Throughout the history of the higher realms of the gods, however, there had been many wars and battles, and I played, unfortunately, my part in it. The higher realms of the gods. I thought I was the most powerful god, because I was present in everything, and especially inside the other gods as well. I let them experience their greatness, but then getting them depressed by showing them the other side of themselves. Clock who was very precise and always on time, and teaching everybody else about this great conduct, I suddenly made him traveling in time into the past and the future, and forgetting about the time, and then arriving too late. It made him very upset. I played with Ertos, who thought he was in total control of things. You should have seen his face when things went different than what he wanted. With Talcon, who in my eyes was just like a priest with his lecturing others in proper communication, I had fun throwing him completely out of balance by letting others not understand him, which made him desperate and often furious. I played my nasty games with my powers, changing constantly the day into the night and vice versa. I brought the earth in the sky, and the sky on the earth, turned things inside up and inside out, and changing things that were high into small, and small stones into huge rocks, and nobody liked it when I let the beast come out from every animal, and out from within the other gods. At one point in time in the history of Crystallia, with the permission of Kalimobanko, I made my second home in a realm in which I could experience my energy in full. Here I had my playground, without having to battle with the other keepers, but where other problems arose. Touring my personal realm. In order to enter my realm, you will have to go through all kinds of challenges in order for you to prepare yourself. Everything in my realm, which looks like a checkerboard, is either white or black, representing the duality in everything and everybody. In Two-Face City, you will encounter individuals with one side of their face being pleasant and the other side with their unpleasant character. I assure you that these two extremes will come from inside of you as well when you would be visiting. However, when you visit the Hills of Acceptance, you meet the Colorkins, created with two different colors, and the Globekins created with two different complexions, representing all the different nations in the universe. Discrimination is a no-no here. In the Valley of the Double Tongues, you will encounter individuals that say and promise you one thing, and the next day they will tell you something else and break their promise, just like you do at times. In another city, you will only find young children and older individuals, and nothing in between. And not an easy experience, especially when you're not young or old. In Two-Door City, every home and entrance to any room has two doors, each one bringing you a complete different experience. Inside all the buildings, in each room, there are again two doors, and this world is like your mind, full of thoughts and confusion. Decisions are to be made any moment in your life to go through one of the two doors. You may call one door positive and the other negative, but the door you are going to take is already written in your book. The gardeners in the Yinyang gardens have it at times easy to deal with what is going on in the garden. But when the amount of insects increases and them growing out of proportion, it can become very challenging and even dangerous when you would be visiting at that moment. The land of angels and witches speaks for itself, and I recommend that you would be visiting to take a bodyguard with you. This bodyguard is your higher mind that is the manager of the two sides in everything and everybody, and the good and evil you see in others, for the world is merely a reflection from within yourself, otherwise you couldn't recognize them. You may call one side negative, bad or evil, but they are from the same coin. One has no meaning without the other, but know that you can also experience life from a neutral point of view and neutral point of reference, and I recommend you talking with Mariah Morrow about this. As I am a creation in Crystallia, know that I am created with opposites, or with two faces, so to speak. On one hand, I contribute to your life with my energy, giving you the experience of opposites, but working incorrect with my energy, you can freak yourself out by not wanting to deal with one side or chasing only the other side. After I got my own realm as one of the 17 guardians of conduct, also called the Divanas, I went to the plains of dreams, to one of the castles of garments, and took the body I still have today, representing my purpose. But also realized that I have several bodies or garments. I have my base image, but to make any body more comfortable anywhere in the universe, I adapt and can change into an image that looks more me being one of you. The big change. Having two main residences in the higher realms of the gods and in my personal realm, I was asked at one point in time by Mariah Morrow to become a faculty member at the Magical University of Life at the Sacred Archives. Mariah Morrow, being the principal of the Sacred Archives, who respected anybody and was wise, invited us all, key masters, keepers, and guardians of the universe. Under his guidance, we all had an equal position and shared the knowledge of the universe and nature from our perspective with the students. And we all felt important. It was a great change. We turned back into love and stopped our wars. For we all knew that you needed all the help you can get in order to save yourself and your planet. For those amongst you who want to become more aware and who understand that I am part and parcel of you and within everything and everybody, I invite you going on a journey and discovering all about me at my planet, or sit in my classroom at the university, or connect with me through a homeschooling system. All connections to me are an incredible experience, and the more you know, the better you can go through your life adventure. How I can help you in your life. Quote, there must be a positive and negative in everything in the universe in order to complete a circuit or cycle, without which there could be no activity and no motion. John MacDonald. End of quote. Yinyang, the guiding force of duality. You easily forget that everything in creation is created with an opposite and struggle endlessly to accept this phenomena. You run after one side while trying to avoid the other. I am Yinyang, in charge of the guiding force of duality, representing the two sides within everything, and your guide in accepting the duality within yourself, others, and everything created. I assist you when you get stuck in pursuing one side only and not accepting the other. Life in creation is an adventure in the world of opposites. Life wouldn't be an adventure if one side existed without the other. The adventure in the world of opposites. Life in creation is experiencing the world of opposites. Nothing exists without an opposite. You cannot just one side and not accept the other. There is a left and a right, there is an up and a down, there is a front and a back, there is an in and an out. There is the sun and the moon, there is light and dark, there is the day and the night, there is the sky and the earth, and there is victory and defeat. Dealing with the opposites inside yourself. One moment you like yourself, and one moment later you don't, for one reason or another. Realize that there is no reason needed, as that other side, you like or not, is part of you. You must accept both of them. You cannot kick out that one side that you may like or not like, because one has no meaning without the other. They are from the same coin. Realize that the negative side exists and accept the fact, but always choose for the positive. You can be liking and disliking. You can be brave or a coward. You can be honest or dishonest. You can be easy or not easy. You can be kind or unkind. You can be friendly and unfriendly. You can be active or lazy. Dealing with the opposites in others. Just as you have to deal with the opposites in yourself, You will have to deal with them in your friends or anybody in the world. Realize that when you encounter another with a certain characteristics that you don't like, that character is within you as well. Possibly you have not made peace with that character or characteristic in yourself. Be gentle with others, be gentler with yourself, and gentleness will come to you. Dealing with the duality in things. Everything that exists is as well created with an opposite. You can love your new toy, but you know that one day it will be old or that it can break down. You can have a good time playing with your toys and the next day not. You can have a bike to explore with, and you could also fall and injure yourself. You may like the sunshine, but when you get a sunburn, maybe not so much anymore. It is as well not just about the sun, your bike, your toys, just by themselves, but how you care about them as well, that give you these opposite experiences. Like one day you love to go to school and the next day not, because of certain subjects you may not like or where you are not the best at. It is all how you look at it, how you deal with it, and what you make out of it. Learn about the experience, the duality in foods. Energy dead and energy rich foods. Cooked foods and raw foods. Acid foods and alkaline foods. Winter foods and summer foods. Cold foods and heated foods. Spicy foods and bland foods. Low heat cooked foods and extreme heat cooked foods. Fast foods and foods prepared with love and care. Seasonal, domestic food and imported food. Food from the supermarket and food from the local farmer's market. White flour products and whole wheat flour products. Inorganic foods and organic foods. Hard to digest foods and easy to digest foods. Aggressive foods and calming foods. Complex foods and simple foods. White sugar and cane or fruit sugar. Processed foods and unprocessed foods. Canned foods and fresh foods. Solid foods and liquid foods. Duality. Instead of persisting or resisting one side of life, assist yourself by going through both sides. In creation, nothing can exist without their opposites.